I'm recording this, by the way. So I come into this kind of stressed, which is quite a good thing, because you got to practice what you preach in this world. It's far too many people who go, hey, do what I say and not what I do. I have used all three of the techniques that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. I've used all three of them in the last 20 minutes. As I sort of go, okay, get this focus, because, it matters. I want to, I want to deliver things well. It matters to me that, people who are giving up time and so on get value for their time. I don't take it lightly that people turn up. So I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try not to cough too much. And we're going to take a little journey through 3 instant stress busters. Let's take a little look at what that is. This is not about dealing with stress in the long term. I have work on that. The hummingbird principle that I published a while ago, but it's partly to do with long-term changes in your way of living that will mitigate stress. But this isn't really what we're dealing with here. What we're dealing with here is when you suddenly go, I'm overwhelmed. What are 3 clear strategies that you can use which will instantly begin to decode your stress? And what links the 3 strategies? None of them are going to be shocking to you or surprising to you. But what links the 3 strategies is very simple. To de-stress, return to being human. Really simple. The more we can move away from distortions in our mind and in our body and come back to just aligning with who we are right now, using our amazing physical system, using our amazing mind, the more we can just align to being human or align with our natural human skills, the more the inhuman levels of stress we put ourselves under will temporarily disappear. And the more often we do that, the more we will be able to get into the habit that when stress begins to grow, we give it away. Stress begins to grow, we give it away. It's probably not a massive surprise to remember that we were born with everything we need to live a wonderful and extraordinary life. Our body and mind and the interconnection between them, our connection with the outside world, our connection with other people, with nature. We have systems in our body to help us live effectively in almost any environment. We were born with creativity and imagination. We were born as artists. Every single one of us. I don't think there's a single child who isn't an artist. We were born with all of these capacities. And most of us, and I plead fully guilty here, most of us, as we go along, we forget about them. We lay them aside. We go, oh, yeah, I haven't got time for that sort of thing. I haven't got time for this. Well, if you haven't got time for being fully human, what do you have time for? For being a wage slave? For being obedient to other people's desire to control your attention all the time by selling you things? What do you have time for if it's not being human? So the heart of this work this evening is going to be 3 instant ways and slightly different ways of aligning with being human. Now I'm going to share a screen. I'll drop in and out of this little slideshow thing. Let me share that. Although I seem to have it on the last slide because I was happily going through it before to take a look. But this is us, the School of Humankind. So I'm just going to move that to the top slide, then hide that and hit that. And with a bit of luck, can you see that? Is that good for people? Can everyone see that okay? Yep, thank you, Monica. Okay. So 3 instant stress busters, or, because I like subtitles, How to Be Human, or Remembering How to Be Human. Now, in all of my work, I think it is really important that we combine understanding with action. Some people go, you know, you don't have to understand, just do this thing. It'll make you feel better. Of course, that works at some level, but also it teaches you to be obedient. Just do what the master or the guru or somebody says. And when the unexpected happens, the technique that you've learned may not work as well as you want it to. So I think as well as learning techniques and actions and strategies, we need to have understanding of why those techniques and strategies work. Understanding without action is just knowing concepts. Action without understanding is obedience. I think understanding and action represents genuine empowerment. So the first thing we're going to look at is breathing. It's fairly obvious. People say, just breathe, you know, all of that. And that's fine, but you're always going to just breathe. You can't stop breathing. Humans are not able involuntarily to stop breathing. You might have seen a child saying, I'm going to refuse to breathe until you give me what I want, and throw a tantrum. They still end up breathing. You don't get to stop breathing. So the question is how to breathe effectively. Now, there is a difference in what happens to the body between when we breathe in and when we breathe out. When we breathe in, we are activating the sympathetic nervous system. Many of you may know this, but if you don't, the sympathetic nervous system is that whole system we've got within us that prepares us for action. Sometimes in places of high stress, it's fight and flight, but it's not only that. It's just readying us for action. It's absolutely human. You're about to do something, you go, right. You breathe in, you prepare. We know it. We breathe in to prepare for something. Take a deep breath and then start. Ancient folklore, mythology tells us that we know that breathing in activates the sympathetic nervous system. So if you are stressed because of a lack of focus, or you're feeling all dispersed and, oh, I don't know what to do, I've got so many things to do. If you're stressed because of that, then prioritizing attention to breathing in helps you focus. People often think getting rid of stress means relaxing. It doesn't always. Sometimes getting rid of stress is about getting rid of feeling overwhelmed. It's about focusing in, preparing yourself to focus on a single thing. And this is what breathing in enables us to do. And then, of course, the other part. So is there somebody not on mute? If you're not on mute, could you be on mute? Thank you. If you are breathing out, you're activating the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the corollary system, the other system, which activates all the systems of relaxation in the body. Again, we know this. You finish something and you go, yeah, finished. You flop on the sofa after a busy day and go, oh boy, long out breath, a sigh of relief. We know this intrinsically, but because we know it, we can use it. We can take control over how we breathe to achieve the sort of de-stressing that we need. You see, breathing connects us inward. It's self-focused. If the major cause of your stress is external to you, so somebody is not muted. I'm going to have to come out of share because I can't mute everybody without. Let me just stop this share for a moment, and I'm not quite sure how I mute everybody, but how do I mute everybody on this? Does anyone know?
I think if you go to participants.
Yes.
There's just one person unmuted.
Yeah.
Oh,
brilliant.
there she is. Okay.
Brilliant. And I'm muting you now, Angela, as well. Thank you. So now back to share screen. Whoosh. There we go. So breathing connects us inward. If the major origin of the stress you're experiencing is external to you, too much noise, too many things going on, too many bright lights, too many people, I mean, I don't deal with crowds very well these days. I used to be fine. These days, I can't be doing with it. If that's the cause of your stress, breathe in. Allow yourself to connect inward. And so we're going to look for a moment just at some breathing. Very simple. Just going to go for a very simple breathing exercise. And often people will say, breathe in, breathe out. I want to use two slightly different words. Rather than talk about breathe in, I want to talk about prepare. And rather than breathe out, I want to use the word relax. And we're just going to do a very simple box breathing exercise, which means you breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. It's a little simple 4-part breathing exercise. Feel free to have eyes open, eyes closed, whatever you want. So we're going to do this twice with a slightly different focus. We'll do 4 cycles of each. And the first, we're going to breathe in for 6. We're going to hold for 3, out for 4, hold for 3. 6, 3, 4, 3. But I want you to focus as you breathe in on the fact that you are actually preparing your body. You are actually activating your sympathetic nervous system. When you breathe out, be aware that you are relaxing. You are activating your parasympathetic nervous system. This is a basic exercise in taking control of your biology, your physiology. So we'll go through 4 cycles and then we'll try just a slightly different one. So it's 6, hold for 3, out for 4, hold for 3. So we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, in, prepare, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, 3, relax, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3. Prepare, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Relax, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3. Now, what you have just done, whether you feel it or not, what you have just done is that you have activated your sympathetic nervous system more than your parasympathetic nervous system. So let's do the opposite. We're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 3, out for 8. A good, long, slow out breath, and hold for 3. And let's just turn that around. We've aroused ourselves slightly. Now we're going to just relax it slightly. In for 4, hold for 3, out for 8, hold for 3. So in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hold, 2, 3, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hold, 2, 3. Prepare, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3. Relax, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hold, 2, 3. Prepare, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3. Relax, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hold, 2, 3. What you've just done, whether you feel it or not, is activate your parasympathetic nervous system more strongly than activating your sympathetic nervous system. Now, maybe you feel it, maybe you don't. One of the things that we get from learning to reconnect with breath and with the other things I'm going to be sharing this evening, one of the things we get is we develop our interoception, our ability to experience what is happening in our body. And this is a fantastically important part of holistic bodily health. It means basically knowing how you are. Really simple. But most of us don't most of the time. Let's have a look at number 2 in this list. Again, no great surprises. Number 2 is the use of the senses. Hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching. Notice I don't write sight, whatever. Your senses aren't something over there that you have. Your senses are something that you do. They are active. You are seeing things, you are touching things, you are smelling things. Each of these senses connect us outward. They bring us into present awareness. So just as I said, if the cause of your stress is primarily external to you, then breathing is going to help you separate from that and move inside. If the cause of your stress is primarily internal, you're thinking out of control, senses, activating your senses helps you move away from your thoughts and connect with what is actually happening in the world around you right now. Now, you get to decide, where is your primary stress at any given moment? Do you need to move away from the outside world? Or do you need to move away from the inside world? Stress comes from both places. Sometimes you just got to go, shut up, thoughts. I'm just going to, there's a tractor going past. I live in the middle of nowhere. There's a tractor going past. This afternoon, when I'm really feeling very ill, I went for a walk and I just stood there and I listened to a buzzard flying overhead. They make the most beautiful cry as they fly. Just no time for stressful thoughts if you are really engaging with what's actually happening around you. That's why presence is such a fundamental mental skill. Again, the hummingbird wisdom, which I've recently created, focuses hard on presence, because when you're present, you are focused, you are de-stressed. It's distraction is our enemy. The senses help us move away from the internal noise and engage with the simple reality of what's happening around us. So now, just for a moment, really just for a moment, I'm going to give you 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. And in those 2 minutes, I want you actively to pay attention to all 5 of the senses. Taste the remnants of the cup of coffee, or the meal you ate recently, or the toothpaste. See if you can locate what the smells in the room are. Here's the thing about hearing, listening. Often people think that the world is full of noise. It is. One thing we can do if the world is full of noise is we can simply change what we think of noise. We can say noise is music. Listen to the world like you listen to a piece of music. Always loved the fact that the great American composer John Cage, towards the end of his life, he and his partner Merce Cunningham lived in an apartment high above one of New York's busy streets. And he said by the end of his life, his favorite piece of music was to stand by the window and listen to the ever-changing sound of the traffic going past. What a magnificent way not to get stressed by noise. You might go, oh, I don't really like that kind of music, but it's interesting. Fascination, curiosity. So for 2 minutes, connect out. Put your hand on something and really feel it. See something. See if you can see something as if for the first time. See if there's any odors in the room, or, if there's something there you can smell on. That's very nice. 2 minutes. I'll shut up. Seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, smelling. You see, when you connect with your senses, you become present. Stress is almost always about what if. When you become present, you focus on what is. It's different. If you're being stressed by what if, just stop and smell the coffee you're about to drink. Really taste it. Stand by the window for just 10 seconds. And whatever the noise, excuse me, whatever the noise outside, listen to it like a fascinating, strange piece of music. Touch the wall. Feel its texture. Allow yourself to be overcome with a sense of curiosity and awe at being alive in this moment with such an amazing system that you can do all of these things. So our third place to go to is the body. You see, relaxing the body relaxes the mind. Relaxing the mind relaxes the body. It's very straightforward. Why would that not be true? The body and mind are absolutely integrated. The thought that you can somehow separate body and mind is ridiculous. You know, you ain't going to do much if I cut your head off, am I? Are you? You know, you're not going to be thinking much without a body, and you're not going to be dancing much without a mind. So, you know, we are entirely an integrated system. What this means is that by paying attention to the body, we can observe the mind. Now, if you're having stressful thoughts, you can go, oh God, I'm stressed. Oh, just relax my shoulders. Just notice and relax. I'm frowning. Relax. Choose to smile. It relaxes lots of muscles. I'm tapping my finger. Just choose not to. Because you see, when you stop doing the action, you stop thinking the thought. Because the action is caused by the thought. You're not tapping the table by accident. You're tapping the table because you are thinking, tap the table. You're not tensing your shoulders by accident. You are thinking, tense my shoulders. And here's why the body is so extraordinary. Because most of what you do emerges from unconscious thinking. You don't know you're tapping the table. You don't know you've got tense shoulders. How can you know what you're not aware of thinking? How can you see the contents of your unconscious? Simple. Observe how your unconscious is appearing in your body. You go, I've got tense shoulders. I don't know why I've got tense shoulders. But if I relax the shoulders, I am relaxing those unconscious thoughts that are causing me to tense. Now, the second stage of this, which is not what this workshop's about, is that the more often you do that, the more often you begin to see what might be causing those tensions. That's a process of long-term personal development or longer-term personal development. But the ability to choose to relax your body and to observe your body to see when you are actually stressed, even though you might not realize it, is a way of reinforcing and exploiting the essentially interconnected nature of body and mind. Because after all, relaxation means stopping unnecessary thinking. If you stop thinking the thoughts that cause tension, you stop being tense. It's really simple. Stress and tension are mental. They appear in the body, but they emerge from the mind. Of course, there's a lot of argument about the fact that the mind is not just contained within the brain. The mind is a system which also contains the gut and the heart and all of that. We're going for really simple here. It doesn't matter which part of your entire mind the stress is coming from. one way of decoding it or disempowering that stress is to relax the part of your body where the stress appears. I'm feeling stressed. Notice your body. Yeah, relax your shoulders. Yeah, I'm frowning. Look up and smile. Look up a bit. Yeah, good. I'm feeling my fingers tense. Just wiggle them a little bit. If people think you're strange, well, they're probably right. We're all strange. Let's not worry about it too much. Observing the body and taking control over the tensions in our body enables us to take control over our thoughts. And it is our thoughts that cause stress. Instant stress buster, relax the body. 10 seconds now, just in 10 seconds. Notice whether you can see any kind of stress in your body. And if you can, consciously choose to give it away. Stress might just be a habitual tension, hunching of the shoulders, looking down, feeling, might be, just choose to smile. Smiling is very good for you. Really is exceptionally good for you physiologically. Smile, relax your shoulders. If you want to connect inward, pay attention to your breath. If you want to connect outward, connect with your senses. 3 things you can do right now in any situation that will align you with your body's natural processes for moving away from stress and back into focus and or relaxation. Body awareness connects us in a holistic, integrated way. It means we take control, gentle control, over every aspect of who we are. It doesn't happen like this. You don't suddenly go, oh yeah, I'm in control of everything. It's a lifelong journey. But we have the power to thrive by using the systems we were born with. You don't need to buy anything from anyone. Just use what you were born with. But here's a little bonus, because slightly outside the scope of the workshop, but I'm going to go for it. Maintaining relaxation, because too often you go, okay, oh, wow, I breathed, I feel great. Right, okay, I'm stressed again. Maintaining relaxation is fundamentally about mental discipline. My work is based on 8 principles. I'm not going to go through all 8 of them now, but I am going to just touch on 4 of them that are particularly useful for decoding stress. The first is this: in chaos, seek flow. Many people get very stressed when they feel life is chaotic and they go, I've got to control everything. I've got to do everything at once. First, people try to multitask. Sorry, multitasking does not exist. People who tell you to multitask are telling you to do something that does not exist. You cannot multitask. Your brain can only do one thing at once. When you are trying to multitask, what you're actually doing is I'll focus on thing 1, focus on thing 2, focus on thing 3, back to thing 1, back to thing 2. Just think about if you were trying to read 3 books at once. You're reading one book and then you put it down. It's going to take you a couple of moments to go, well, what was happening in this book? Oh yeah, okay, carry on reading this book, put it down. Okay, hold on, what was happening in this book? Take you a moment to refocus on and remember the task that you put down a few minutes ago. There's a word in psychology, a name for that in psychology. It's called the switching cost. The cost of switching attention from one thing to another. Multitasking is exhausting and inefficient because you are constantly wasting your mental energy trying to work out what you need to do next. It is much more efficient to go do one thing, finish it, do the next thing, finish it, do the next thing, finish it. That's why focus is an absolute superpower. We live in a culture that profits from distraction, and we take control by saying, to hell with your distraction. I am focusing on my ability to take control of my life right now. So in chaos, instead of trying to go, I've got to do everything, look for flow. What does that mean? It means know your hierarchy of tasks. Another way of saying in chaos seek flow is when there's too much to do the next thing. How do you know what the next thing is? Know your hierarchy of tasks. I do this really simply because I'm a very simple person. There are some things that are essential, some things are optional, and some things are a waste of time. Do the essential, do the optional if you can. Don't spend time on things that are a waste of time. So you've got too much to do. Spend 10 seconds going, of all these things I've got to do, which ones do I actually have to do? Do them. Just that simple, do them. Which things, oh, I finished all the things I have to do. What else would I like to do? This, I'd like to do this, yeah. This thing that you feel is so crucially important, probably it isn't. Because the third principle is pay attention to things you can actually do something about. I can kind of promise you, if you, it's true for me too, only actually paid attention to things that we could do something, I could do something about, or you could do something about, you would find you had so much mental space. So much mental space. We spend so much of our time worrying about things we can do nothing about. Oh, what if they were offended from that conversation yesterday? You can do nothing about it. You can, if you think you've done something wrong, do something now. Go, oh, I'm going to write an email of apology or something, but you can't do anything about what happened yesterday. What if I fail in this interview? All the time you're thinking about, what if I fail in this interview? You're not preparing for the interview. You're paying attention to something you can't do anything about. What if somebody doesn't like me? You can't make anybody like you. You can just be the best version of you you can. And the people who like you are going to like you. And the people who don't like you, they're going to go, oh, she's horrible. I hate her. Nothing you can do about it. To hell with them. Pay attention to things you can actually do something about. And here's the kicker. Here's the one that really matters to me. When there's nothing to do, actively choose to do nothing. Scrolling on Facebook is not doing nothing. It's scrolling on Facebook. Tensing your shoulders is not doing nothing. It's tensing your shoulders. Doing nothing is choosing to have some time where you allow your mind and body, of course, an integrated body-mind, allow your mind and body to come to rest. One of the great paradoxes, of course, is the more willing you are to take moments of doing nothing, the more effective and efficient you will be in your work. Humans are not meant to be on for 18 hours a day. It is a perversion of our system constantly to be going. Find time to do nothing. Sometimes doing nothing might be hanging around. A form of doing nothing might be hanging around with friends and having a beer on the beach, or, going for a walk in the woods, allowing your mind just to be quiet. But the deep level of doing nothing is actively to find time to do nothing, really. Several times a day, I'm working. I've got a window just there. Looks out over, I can see one house in about the 6 miles between me and the mountains. It's mainly just fields and forest and so on. It's beautiful. About 6 or 8 times a day, I look out of the window for 20, 30 seconds and I don't think. If I feel a little stress in my body, I let it go or I breathe and whatever. But basically, I just stop. I just let myself stop. So if this stuff is resonating with you and you want to go deeper into the thing about focus, on the School of Humankind courses page, there's a link to Hummingbird Wisdom where I go into a lot of this in much more depth. If you choose to look at Hummingbird Wisdom, there is a code on the School of Humankind page. So go through that page because there's a code on it which will give you a big discount because School of Humankind is new and dead exciting. And I want to do everything I can to, try to make it a success. So anyone who comes to things through School of Humankind, I'm giving a discount to things. So as far as we'll go, we'll have a few minutes for questions, but this workshop, 3 Instant Stress Busters, is a workshop I'm very happy to run again for other people. If you know groups, organizations that want it, be in touch with me, talk to me. If it's an organization where people aren't paid and the organizers aren't paid, if I've got time, I do workshops for free. If it's an organization where people are paid, I charge money. It seems reasonable. As an artist, I've spent most of my life being invited by people who are getting paid perfectly good wages to work for free because it'll be good for exposure. Oh, it'd be really good for you to work for free because then people know about you. By the way, I'm taking home 50,000 a year. I don't play that game. Anyone who's an artist here will know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. I see Themis nodding. Yeah, it's really annoying, isn't it? But anyway, that's another thing. So, but I am available to run this workshop for people because we live in a time of super high stress. And frankly, it's worrying. I have too many friends who are cracking up, not making it through. And this is part of what I can do to sort of say, let's reconnect with being human. So if you think there are groups of people, if there's individuals who you think would benefit from this little process, send them to the School of Humankind library and they can sign up and access a recording of this. If there are groups that you think this would be useful for, just talk to me. So this is School of Humankind. This is what we do. There's only, I think, 3 events in the library now. There'll be 4 by the end of this week. There will be 100 by December. 100 free events covering finance, covering personal development, art practice, Angela will be running something on how to access your emotional side if you come from the sciences. An amazing thing to be doing. There's people who work in marketing. It's a whole range of stuff. We want it to be the place where you really go, I fancy something, but I don't quite know what it is. Let's go to School of Humankind and see what's there. And I hope you will choose to watch things that you wouldn't otherwise choose to watch. Yeah, I want to find out what Gitika from Delhi, how she uses scenes from the movies to help people understand their personal finances. That sounds interesting. Worth 45 minutes of anyone's time, surely. So go along to School of Humankind Library regularly and see what's on. Now, we have technically no time at all because I've come right way up to 45. But if there is anyone who wants to comment or reflect or ask a question, please, now is your time. Now is your moment of glory. Just unmute yourself and speak because I can't see you. Hey, Themis.
Hello, thank you very much. It was very interesting what you said.
Pleasure.
And it's not a question, it's like that I noticed that when they told me various people to do nothing when I'm stressed or when I want to find myself, and it's the most difficult thing for me to stay on the couch and say to myself, now you have 5-10 minutes to relax and don't think and think nothing. It's very difficult, and but it's very important.
You and everybody else, Themis, you are not alone. If meditation or stillness or quietening the mind was easy, we wouldn't have had to have several world religions dedicated to it. It's brutally hard because the mind is naturally active. But you were nodding when I was talking about being asked to work for free. What's your art form?
Yeah, they believe that we can, because we're artists, we can do things for free.
Yeah, but what sort of artist are you? What do you do?
I'm an actress.
Okay, brilliant. How do you get to be better as an actress?
I go to psychologists.
Yeah, fair enough. The simple answer, before we go to the complicated answer, the simple answer is practice and gentleness. You try something, you screw it up, you forget your lines, no point in beating yourself up. You go, no, hold on, remember that line. Try that scene again. The answer to becoming more able to be still and quiet, practice and gentleness. You sit on the sofa or you sit under a tree somewhere and you go, I'm going to be still. I'm going to be, oh, damn, I'm thinking about something. Smile, forgive yourself. You're human. Move back to think about nothing. You will lose your concentration about every half second. But over time, it gets better. Never goes away. Never goes away. I always wonder whether the Dalai Lama suddenly finds himself halfway through a half-hour meditation going, oh, I must remember to say this to somebody or other. I don't know, maybe not, but I don't know whether we ever fully tame the mind. But practice and gentleness. Gentleness is important. The one thing that will drive you away from growth is beating yourself up because you can't yet do what you hope one day to be able to do. That's why as a teacher of performers, when I used to teach performers, I taught from a place of going, excellent. Now, what if we try this rather than that was crap, do it again. Gentleness, practice. Does that help?
Thank you.
Okay. Does anyone else want to reflect or comment?
Me.
Davinder, hello, Davinder.
Well, I had said exactly the same thing to you 3 years ago, that I find this principle as the most difficult one. But you know what? Now I really enjoy when I get the opportunity to do nothing. And I remember your words, allow yourself. So when I see myself stuck, I always tell myself the words you used to say. I allow myself to do nothing, and I really enjoy it.
Brilliant. And thank you so much for saying that. First of all, because you are living proof that practice yields results. And secondly, you remind me of a form of words that is so important. It's about giving ourselves permission. Allow yourself. Allow yourself to fail. Allow yourself to fall flat on your face. Allow yourself to be frustrated with yourself, and then give it away. Just give it away. Let it go. You don't need it. I always said that when I'm training performers, the most important thing I do is create a space where performers have permission. First, I give them permission, and then I become irrelevant because they give themselves permission. I love what you just said, Davinder. Allow yourself. Not I have to, not I must. Just allow yourself to be still. Thank you for that. It's very powerful. Anyone else who wants to throw in a thought or reflection? Lovely. Then we shall wrap up. And I've only run 7 minutes over time. I knew I shouldn't have put those bonuses in, but somehow it seemed worth it. And you know, the body is an amazing thing, because I was talking to Angela earlier on today, because Angela and I are the co-founders of the School of Humankind, so we have business meetings several times a week. And I couldn't get a sentence out without coughing. And now, because I am focused and I am in my body, I've not coughed very much at all. It might not seem that way to you, but compared to how I've been for the rest of the day, this is a miracle. So be in touch. If you want to reflect on this, just send a message, hello@schoolofhumankind.com will get to me and to Angela. Send a message. If you want to go to Hummingbird Wisdom and really dig in deep to some stuff, then use the discount code from School of Humankind, because it takes quite a lot of, I can't remember what I said, something like 20%. It might even be 30%. I can't remember. And I hope that you find it really useful. You've got everything you need right here, right now, to really thrive. We don't have to get anything more. We just have to learn or remember how to use what we have. So I'm going to wrap up there. Thank you to all of you. I shall stop that share. Don't need that there anymore. Thank you to all of you. And I will talk to you all again soon, I hope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks, John.
It's a pleasure. Take care,
Thank
Yogi.
you. Bye.